this is a blueprint. It's probably not that different from a lot of other positioning and like messaging blueprints out there, but the way that I like to do this is um, for every product. So if you're in like a company that has a platform, like for every product, we're going to build one of these. Or if you're a service company, for every like offering you have, we're going to build one of these. This ICP background kind of bucket is typically not going to change that much unless you do sell different products to different sort of personas. But the idea is just to do like a lightweight version of what you would do on a very deep level if you're kind of like thinking about starting a company or repositioning a company. It's like you really just think about, okay, who are our target companies and who are the people in those companies? What's the category that they shop for? And then what's the main job that they have? And I do like a very light weight version of jobs to be done. And so the focus is just like CEOs at these types of companies, like what's actually on their job description? What are the things that they are measured against? Because ideally your product should be doing those jobs in a way. And then you just like you kind of start broad and you get more specific and more specific and more specific the farther down you go. And so then you're like, okay, what's the problem that we are solving for this person? Why is that problem a bad problem to have? Okay, once you nail that, then what other ways can people solve that problem? Not just direct competitors, but like how could anyone who's this person solve this problem? And then you're like, how are we different? How are we better? I like to get into what is each feature we have and kind of like what does that unlock for people? And then at the end of the day, cool, let's sum all this up and say, how do we actually want to say who we are, what we talk about, or how we talk about what we do? And this is where you get different. It's like I still think there is differentiation, even if you have all the same features, like eventually you're going to be able to say like we take a different angle, like we approach it a different way. And so then you get into some of the details of your messaging. So this is like in an ideal world, you kind of lock this in and you're like, this is not changing for a quarter. And so we can just hit the content hard. We can make sure the website reflects this. I think the website should be your best asset. So you want to make sure like that is very clearly expressing this, but this is the story and like the foundations of the story you want to tell. And then when you get into the copywriting stage is when you can kind of figure out how exactly you want that story you to tell it.